George Washington and Donald Trump. Two names synonymous with the American presidency. Separated by over 2 centuries, their paths to the White House were remarkably different. Yet their presidencies reveal surprising parallels, captivating the nation's attention. From their outsider status to their unique leadership styles, Washington and Trump have left an indelible mark on America's political landscape. These two men, born in vastly different eras, faced unique challenges. They also embraced opportunities that shaped the nation's trajectory. Understanding their similarities and differences offers a compelling lens through which to view the evolution of American leadership. It also provides insight into the enduring power of personality and circumstance in shaping the highest office. Both Washington and Trump were seen as outsiders when they assumed the presidency. Washington, a military hero with no political experience, was a novel choice in a newly formed nation. He was wary of political factions, preferring unity over partisan divides. Trump, a businessman with no prior government service, disrupted the political establishment with his unconventional campaign and brash style. He challenged the status quo, often bypassing traditional media and appealing directly to the electorate through social media. Their outsider status became a source of both strength and contention. It allowed them to connect with voters disillusioned by the political elite. However, it also bred distrust among those entrenched in the political system. This outsider perspective shaped their approaches to governance and their relationships with the established power structures. A shared thread in the presidencies of Washington and Trump is a strong emphasis on nationalism and sovereignty. Washington, leading a fledgling nation still finding its footing after independence, stressed national unity and self-reliance. He cautioned against foreign entanglements and emphasized building a strong domestic foundation. Trump, echoing this sentiment centuries later, championed an America First agenda. He prioritized American interests in trade deals and foreign policy, often using assertive rhetoric to assert American power on the global stage. Their focus on nationalism resonated with segments of the population who felt that America's global standing was waning. It appealed to a sense of patriotism and a desire for strong leadership on the world stage. This emphasis on nationalism, however, also drew criticism for sometimes veering into protectionism and isolationism. Both Washington and Trump brought their considerable wealth and business acumen to the presidency. Washington, a successful planter and landowner, understood the importance of economic stability. He oversaw the establishment of a national bank and promoted policies that fostered economic growth. Trump, a real estate mogul and television personality, touted his business prowess as a key qualification for the presidency. He promised to apply his deal-making skills to international trade and domestic economic policy. Their business backgrounds shaped their views on governance and their approaches to policy. They both valued efficiency, decisiveness, and a results-oriented approach. However, critics argued that their business interests sometimes conflicted with the broader public good. This tension between private wealth and public service remains a point of contention in discussions of their legacies. Leading with individuality. Washington and Trump possessed distinct leadership styles that left an undeniable mark on their presidencies. Washington, known for his reserved demeanor and calculated approach, commanded respect and projected an aura of stability. He believed in leading by example and setting a high moral standard for the nation. Trump, on the other hand, was a more unconventional and polarizing figure. His direct communication style, often bypassing traditional media and relying on social media, resonated with his base but alienated others. His impulsive nature and penchant for controversy made his presidency a constant source of debate and speculation. Despite their contrasting styles, both men were highly effective communicators in their own right. Washington's farewell address, warning against partisan strife and foreign entanglements, remains a seminal text in American political thought. Trump's mastery of social media allowed him to connect directly with supporters and shape the national conversation. A legacy of disputes. The presidencies of both Washington and Trump were marked by controversy and partisan strife. Washington faced opposition from nascent political factions, with figures like Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton clashing over the role of the federal government. Trump, similarly, presided over a period of deep political division. His policies and rhetoric ignited fierce debates on issues such as immigration, healthcare, and social justice. Their presidencies highlighted the challenges of governing a diverse and often divided nation. Their decisions and actions often inflamed tensions, revealing the deep-seated ideological rifts within American society. This underscores the complex relationship between leadership, public opinion, and the enduring power of political polarization. Trials and judicial impacts. Both Washington and Trump faced significant challenges to their authority during their presidencies. Washington contended with the Whiskey Rebellion, an uprising against federal taxes, demonstrating the fledgling government's ability to enforce its laws. Trump faced impeachment inquiries and constant scrutiny from political opponents, testing the limits of executive power and checks and balances within the government. Their presidencies also had a lasting impact on the judicial branch of government. Washington appointed John Jay as the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, establishing a precedent for judicial independence. Trump appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, shifting the balance of the court for potentially generations to come. Shaping the nation's course. George Washington's presidency was instrumental in establishing the foundations of the United States. He set precedents for presidential leadership, established a functioning federal government, and navigated the nation through its early years. Donald Trump's presidency, occurring at a time of significant social and political change, exposed and exacerbated existing divisions within American society. His policies and rhetoric left a lasting impact on the political landscape and continue to shape debates on a range of issues. Their presidencies, though separated by time, underscore the evolving nature of American leadership and the enduring challenges of governing a complex and dynamic nation. Their actions and decisions continue to shape the nation's trajectory, sparking debate and discussion about the role of government and the meaning of American identity. The weight of precedents. Washington's presidency, being the first, carried the weight of setting precedents for those who would follow. His actions, both large and small, established norms and traditions that shaped the office for generations. From his insistence on being addressed as Mr. President to his establishment of a cabinet of advisors, Washington's decisions continue to influence the presidency today. Trump, on the other hand, often challenged presidential norms and conventions. His unconventional communication style, his willingness to criticize predecessors, and his blurring of the lines between his personal business interests and his role as president broke with long-held traditions. This contrast highlights the delicate balance between respecting precedent and adapting to the changing times. While Washington's presidency established a framework for the office, Trump's presidency demonstrated that this framework is not immutable. It remains to be seen how future presidents will navigate this balance between tradition and change. A legacy etched in time. The legacies of both Washington and Trump are complex and multifaceted, subject to ongoing debate and reinterpretation. Washington is revered as the father of his country, a symbol of American independence and leadership. His image adorns currency, monuments, and countless textbooks. However, his legacy is also intertwined with the institution of slavery, which he participated in. Trump, a more polarizing figure, evokes strong reactions from both supporters and detractors. His supporters view him as a disruptor who challenged the status quo and championed their interests. His critics see him as a demagogue who eroded democratic norms and exacerbated societal divisions. Their contrasting legacies demonstrate the enduring power of the presidency to shape national memory and identity. They also highlight the challenges of reconciling the complexities of historical figures with contemporary values. Their presidencies, forever etched in the annals of American history, will continue to be studied, debated, and reinterpreted by generations to come. Conclusion: enduring footprints. George Washington and Donald Trump, two presidents from vastly different eras, left an undeniable mark on the American presidency. Their outsider status, their leadership styles, and their lasting impact on the nation's political landscape provide a compelling study in contrasts and comparisons. While their approaches to governance and their places in history vary greatly, their presidencies offer valuable insights, into the enduring power of personality, circumstance, and leadership in shaping the nation's destiny. Both presidents had opposition. Sometimes people would try to kill them for their ideas. In 1755, near Braddock, Pennsylvania, during the French Indian War, Washington had 2 horses shot out from under him and had several bullet holes through his coat, but he miraculously escaped without injury. This experience was one of the key events that set the stage for his later leadership in the American Revolutionary War. And Trump had an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania as well. They both uttered the words "divine providence." They both raised their fist in defiance and pledged to take the nation on a new path. The torch of freedom was lit, and here we are today in 2024.